Okay, part two, and we'll finish this up real quick. So then after this roar, we live without the seed, so there won't be a void zone here. We can actually just continue to play on this side. And I believe this is going to be Banna's roar, so that we can actually fight against it and stay close in the barriers, the AMZs, that sort of thing. At the end, Ziddy comes back. He will pick up the very last corrupted seed. So he passed this one to Caligon, and Caligon's holding that for 2 turns. And then Ziddy will hold this corrupted seed till the end. At this point, after we've used that, and after like you've turtled and everything, Imper, and Caligon too, you'll want to be aware of this, is that the dot will really start ticking on you guys pretty hard at this point. So what I would do is, in between blazes, I would actually come in so that you're in range of like all 4 healers on the blaze, and then when you have to play out or during the blaze and you're getting blazed, that's when you definitely need to pop something or call for something, so that you don't die. If you protect the seed at all costs, right? So if you die, it's not actually that big of a deal. It drops the seed on the ground, it'll pulse on the raid a bit, and we can actually have a backup like LK or Mal come in and pick it up, but protect that seed at all costs. So try to live as much as you can, but don't freak out. If you die, it's not like a wipe per se. As long as you protected the seed, you're good to go. And yeah, I think we'll have LK and Mal be backups at this point. They can pick it up and just hold it until the boss dies. And so there'll be more firestorms to drop as a raid at this point. So we'll want to try and take those out as far as we can get, basically. It'll be a little chaotic, but then we'll just kind of finish it off from there.
I'm going to be Team LK for a second. Are Locks mobile enough to move? Because I know he's going to have fuck tons of damage at the end, I'm assuming, right? So wouldn't it be better to have a different person? I know Warlocks, when they start ramping, they just want to fucking...
Well, the good side of Locks is that they're pretty tanky, so that they don't really care about the dot. Yeah, Mal could probably get out there faster, though. So you have like...
per damage, I would assume that LK would want to...
fucking slam it's not that bad. It's like more like the really sustained running fucks me. Whereas like, you know, moving here and there and then stopping and then moving away or whatever is like not that bad.
That's good.
Yeah, I only lose a bunch, like, you know, like when we're getting sucked, like I can't cast it all during that shit.
Yeah.
So, but the rest of the time, it's like moving and casting is like not that bad. It procs my demon bolts proc enough to where it's like doesn't feel terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how blocks really play anymore, so.
It's a good question. It's good to think about these things beforehand so that we have much less to learn when we get there.
So, last question on corrupted seeds.
Yep.
So those can't get hit by a laser beam either then, right?
Yeah, exactly the same mechanics. The only thing that's different about the corrupted seed is that it does the dot. And yeah, we can't drop it for the touch grass. So that's it. But otherwise,
do some more seed holding and heroic or whatever. Get used to that shit.
Yeah, if you can, I think that's going to be extremely valuable.
Like, because you need to like, there's like a bunch of things you need to look at the same time.
Yeah.
While watching like how far away you are and shit, because you still need to be able to get back for the fucking like safety puddle things.
Really easy to drop your seed and like take your blaze away and then pick your seed back up. What's hard is that your friends are also getting blazes and doing the same thing, and so you have to watch your friends' seed and they have to watch your seed as well when they do the blazes, and so that's really the dance. So like Mazza and Veritas actually have to do that as well, where if Mazza gets, you know, Triptych drops his seed, Mazza can also get the blaze, and if he's not paying attention to where Triptych drops his seed, he can just blaze that seed. Luckily, you know, with the way that we have it spaced out, they only need to pay attention to each other rather than like a bunch of other stuff. In fact, I actually would swap you guys over here so that the seed is playing on this side, so that the raids blazes don't reach here nearly as much. But yeah, that's the hard part, is that you have to play around other people's seeds and other people's blazes, not just your own. So you're responsible for keeping not only your seed alive, but every seed alive as well. You want to make sure you're playing safe around all the seeds. So yeah, that is the weird part about it, is you have to watch multiple things at the exact same time, and you only have about 1.5 seconds to make a great decision. Otherwise, it's over. One seed pops, it's over, and that's why in the strat you drop as many here as you can at the beginning, because you just get rid of one seed, and one less seed is actually huge in terms of like changing up the difficulty. So that's why we drop 2 here, and then we use a bunch of cooldowns here without the seed to live, is that it's actually easier to live that roar with a bunch of cooldowns than it is to try to live basically the trade-off with an extra seed that's on the field the entire phase. Better just to delete one, basically. So yeah, that's that. I wonder if we can find a good POV of somebody doing that just to finish this off.
Ooh, I know the perfect one. It's a priest. He was in Liquid.
The Nick, dude. Oh no, he's still getting trolled. I wonder if this warlock did a seed. I don't think he did.
Cool. Max got saved by Liquid winning the LCS this year. Or but this split.
All gas, no brains. I bet you this hunter did it, because the guilds will typically assign hunters.
Take it now,
He did. Yeah, look, he's got it.
It's like normal.
So
Tornadoes in 2, 1. Get the tornadoes out.
let's see.
I
love.
plays in Africa.
Okay, P3.
I love that their raid leader is counting down the firestorm, because yeah, that knowing when that's coming and pre-positioning is so huge to get those tornadoes out.
I feel like our guild really like does not pre-position. We're like not a bunch of pre-positioners. We're like a bunch of reactors, and that's why everything is so sketch all the time.
Right. So see, this person is right. His friend is just could have blazed him right there. And you got the tornadoes.
See how he had to drop that, and then drops the tornado, and then he's like grab it and run away again.
And the reason, actually, that's really smart the way he did that. Did you see those swirlies? Those can randomly. These swirlies. Where are they? I didn't see them. There they are. These swirlies can actually proc on top of your seed that you just left behind. So holding on to that seed as long as possible while you're running the firestorm out is actually definitely the play. Because you want to protect it and keep it out of the puddles. So see these swirlies, one of them could have spawned right here, or just randomly on that seed, and it's just super random. So I've seen hero clips where if that were the case, this hunter actually plays by the seed because he knows his friend is dropping. He can drop his seed, yeah, grab it and move it out of the swirl in like the half second that it takes. Like,
I'm tell you right now, I make no promises of shit like that.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's the level of awareness that you'd want to have with that, because you're carrying an instant wipe mechanic, right? Like, and everybody else is, so that's what makes the phase exciting. So these blazes happen, then they move up. So he cheetahs here. Look, and he's got just barely enough time, and they move out right before the knockback, because you can see the shield on him, and so they don't want to sit here in that zone. And so we would actually gate across here, but they're not, and they're lusting here, but we're not, so that's fine. Just some small differences. Here, what I would do actually for you guys is I would have you play on blue side. I would not play on the raid side. This one is Mazza's pickup. And then tornadoes, take them out. And they would take him out to the edge over here. This guy was pretty slow. Even though he had blink, he didn't make it all the way to the edge. That's really sad. But yeah, you guys, I would play over on this side rather than on this side. There's the blaze. He's planning on turtling here. Like I said, I don't think this is the best use.
Moving him forward a little bit here.
They're moving the boss. We're gonna actually just keep it planted, and the tanks are in the same spot all the time.
I don't know. That's like kind of a clean turtle, though. No?
If you consider what happens later, the later one is cleaner than
for this
anything
red.
else.
Blaze coming out.
We'll see like how close the Raids Blaze is to his. So yeah, I would play on this side over here, because then you've only got the other seed.
Right.
Oh hey, what's up, War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blaze again. We got Blaze again.
Yeah, and then you only have to
Yeah,
deal with
that's
the other
mega
seed holders.
scary.
It should go so
Take him back,
fast.
Val, when you can.
And then this would be your drop here, Imper. I don't know if this guy actually does it. And we'd want to do it up a little bit further because of the way we're going to play it. But that's basically the same timing. And then we'd gate across here, across the
I have to
boss.
pick that seed back up.
Because if you look, I believe there's no tornadoes across the boss anymore. So we'd gate across and we'd play back over on this side to not deal with tornadoes. And then you're basically... Oh, no, you pick up this corrupted seed as well, Imper, after this. So right after your drop, you'd look for it. So this one would be yours.
We're playing 3 corrupted seeds, right?
3 seeds, then we're gonna just natty live the 4th roar.
Any externals you got?
Yeah.
Firestorm, tornadoes, get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out.
And so our phase will last longer than that. We'll get the other roar, and then we'll probably kill it right after it, because we don't have lust for this phase, but, you know, it's basically the same thing. But it kind of gives you a decent idea of how it worked. I like this raid leader. I wonder how he calls the shadow cages at the beginning. We'll just watch a little bit of P2 here. Those swirlies are so nasty. That's like that's hell on earth right there, because there's blaze lines as the golems are dropping, and then there's swirls as well. So there's blaze, golems, and swirlies, and you need to make sure you don't blaze the tree while you're dodging those firestorms. So there's a lot to manage right there, for sure.
Would that tree be worth picking up and moving by an org or gripped by you?
I don't. I can't grip. You can't grip a tree.
Massive or something.
You can't grip a tree.
You can only rescue them for whatever reason. Yeah, it's really weird.
That's what I meant. Like rescue with org, right?
Right. I don't know if it'll be up when we really need it. For the triple trees, there's a line where there are 3 trees, and we have to rescue the middle tree off to the side so it doesn't go through the pack of screamers. I think rescue's cooldown is too long for him to be able to do both. Yeah, it'd be an interesting idea, because then we could just play it and not even worry about it, right?
Not even worry about it. Yeah.
That's always better.
Cages coming out in 3.
That's a good health stone moment, actually, because healers are like healing the other stuff. The cages, and then these 2 break. This hunter is just, I'm not breaking at all. I don't care. He didn't even press his macro.
But it said don't break.
Yeah, because he didn't press, I don't think. Because if you look at his position, he was never planning to break. Like, he moved back and out. Yeah,
You're not wrong.
He was like, he moved away from it. So he was like, I'm not doing it.
Hang back if you can.
Alright, so got it. So I do mechanics in the final phase, but until then, I can be hunter.
No. The grouping is really nice
I'm
here.
just following the videos that you keep sending me, okay? This is what all the hunters are doing. I'm just trying to, you know, follow the videos.
I got the Colossus Val. Moving over.
I'd have Terra ring away here just a little bit, because those healer ads pass by really close to the stack. Just to play it really safe, we'd just ring the whole stack a little bit, finish them off. And then if we had the trap, you just grip in at this point. Yep. The flame fall, and then it's rinse repeat. It's basically exactly the same as the beginning.
We got Blaze coming out again. Ads.
Yeah, Blaze. This is the double set of ads. I should be able to carry this set of 10. I have cooldowns up for this. If I play it right.
Get ready to cheat to one side. Just look
They do the shadow cages.
Alright.
Well, actually,
Red.
so see, this part is actually asynchronous, so it's basically the same, but it's a little different. So actually, on the second time, all of the ads, and the raid leader's calling it, cheat to one side, look for the spawns, because all the tree and these ads spawn over here, which means there's nothing on this side of the room. So you definitely want to play on this side and then not worry about it, right? So this one is a little bit easier than the first time, because you can actually just play on the empty side of the room.
Cheat red. Spread.
And we should have cages coming up.
Job. Cleave off the burning. Cages are coming out in 2, 1.
Or get the burning. 2 and 2. Oh, there's gonna do 3 here. That was really rough. Luckily they had the barrier. Oh, and he's stunned for forever, and he's got blazes in the air. Oh no, dude. Yeah, he played that really poorly. Let's watch what he did here. So he went early, didn't see them coming in. He actually was in the right spot. He actually went to the marker. It was the other 2 that were outside of red, and they weren't even in the barrier, right? He actually was in a good spot there, and then they didn't break him out. It was actually probably good they didn't, because it would have been 2 other people that were...
Let Dave die.
Let him die. So this is the triple trees. We're actually rescuing to the opposite side. We're going to rescue over here. So that's Mal's side for his knocking, so we don't want to have him take it all the way across. Oh! So that's what they nerfed, by the way. He would have actually been broken out by that point, and so it wouldn't have been a death for him.
Because it's, what, 12 seconds now?
Yeah. Basically, as you go, the way that it happens is if you don't get broken out there, the only thing that it would affect is if you're a knock person, then it delays your knock. I think it's like 2 or 3 seconds. So that's annoying, and that's kind of bad, but it's not necessarily a wipe, right? The only other thing that could be bad is like he got it here. I don't know if we can show it. He got Blaze while he was up here. It could be right at the tree, and there's nothing he can do about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's a bit RNG. So it's not like all chill and like who cares if we knock people out, right? But you know, you can get decent RNG, and if you have a res or whatever, then you're fine.
Depending on who it is and when it is too. 12 seconds is like half a CD.
Yeah.
Right, so it could be a ton of damage.
Yeah, so we might miss the Burning Colossus as well, the timing on that we need.
Oh man, look at that outlaw rogue go.
Spread.
It's an outlaw rogue?
Yeah, I think outlaw is pretty strong in this fight. Cause it's just
No shot.
right?
No shot. This fight is all boss damage. This fight is all boss damage.
Yeah, but they don't lose anything to like just crank like.
They lose a ton of boss in comparison. Well, in comparison to the other rogue specs, right? You're sacrificing a bunch of boss damage for cleave you don't need, basically. The thought process.
Because it's all about controlling the ads, right? It's not about like having to kill them quickly. As long as you can keep them under control to cleave them down, you're good.
They're doing really well. 40%. And then they have lust up there. That's very good. We're going to be looking for 45. If we can get to 45 at the end of that phase, we're going to be in kill range for sure. So yeah.
I'm seeing some guilds struggle with intermission, dude.
This week?
Yeah.
Well, most of that is... we went over that a bit, but I would imagine that most of that is just because they don't understand like the assignments and how it works, right? They
haven't been playing the minigame?
Yeah, they haven't been playing the minigame, exactly. So I've been trying to bang that drum as much as possible, but unfortunately, if there's even one of the people in the 20 that doesn't know how the game works, then you just end up getting farmed by that phase. The thing is that the damage is so forgiving, right? It's really just do the orbs. Just do the orbs clean. Even if you get double blazed, you're not necessarily dead in that phase. So, you know, just do those orbs and as a major focus, but knowing how it's...
You're saying we have to do what we're supposed to be doing, and
and know
like it's going to be a problem.
And know what to do. Yeah, I've been harping on that. I hope that people have taken it to heart. That if everybody knew how to do it before we got there, it'd be so much better, dude. In particular, the way that mechanic works, it's not that intuitive, and so like you you just have to know. You just have to have done your research and your homework on that. But we'll go over it anyway as soon as we start getting there, and just make sure that everybody knows.
The game, like, I knew how it worked already, but the game really sends it home. Like, it's like playing Castle Panoplia
Yeah.
all over again.
Yeah, Ulria did a good job with that.
All those pineapple games.
Definitely good.
They're really good to teach you like base mechanics.
Yep.
And then that I can't even remember what it was called with
oh yeah, what was it like
with the Rashok one?
I want to say Project Zero, Project Z, or some Practice
like
Z, Practice X, or yes, yeah.
X Practice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean that was excellent. Like actually running around with your character to do Rashok was crazy good practice.
Yeah, and I only think you have to, like, if you can get like above 5 basically on that mini game, I think you're good. You get it. You know, like going further is great, but five minimum, and I think you're fine. You're like good enough. You get it, because you definitely can't get to 5 if you don't know what you're doing. Like, there's just no way. Like, you have to know what you're doing and how it works.
To be honest, like I put 2 screenshots up, right? The first screenshot was my first go at it, and I got 0 because I soaked to the wrong one somehow. And then the second one was whatever that ridiculous number I posted was. Like,
it's like
as soon as
28,
it clicks, it just clicks.
Yep, and it's harder than it actually will be in game. So
well, yeah,
if you can do that,
blazes and stuff too.
Yeah, you only really need to do 2 waves. Maybe keep an eye out for a 3rd waves, and it's always going to be the same assignment for you, so you don't need to really worry about that. Like changing up mid-phase.
That's what surprised me in that. I was like, oh my god, I have to run across the other side now.
And then there's somebody else that is soaking the other orbs, so you don't have to worry about like the wrong orb pinching you, really.
Right.
Because, well, they don't come in that close, but also somebody else is taking orbs out for you as well, so you don't, like, yeah. It's definitely decent. As silly as that is, it's definitely good. So yeah, I definitely think I think we have a very good shot at getting to intermission with everybody alive tomorrow night, and so yeah, the more that people can learn that, the better.
Dude, I would just be happy even if they didn't look at all this shit. I just wish they were like on playing, you know, like just get in the game at least.
True.
Just to, like,
just play WoW.
Yeah.
Play your character.
It's just like so helpful for our people.
Well, that's going to be one of the passive buffs for us of adding the Thursdays, is that at least people will be playing more throughout the week, like just because there's a raid to do.
100% more, you know.
Well, I don't think that math checks out, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Having to move, you know.
I don't like. I feel like you can't really count like the fucking Saturdays, right? Or the Sundays. Like that's where everybody's like learning how to play again.
So what I don't know, that War and LK are here, is for the intermission. I don't know how the selection logic works, so I can't say that you're guaranteed, if everybody's alive, to go to the exact same spot and have the same orb assignment every time. I shouldn't say spot because it's
so
really
hard if you're like random every single time, right?
Well, what it will do is basically it chooses tankier players for the top sides, so like L1 and R1 at the top are going to be like some of the tankier classes, like Demon Hunters and Rogues. I know it does that, and then it basically filters by what Liquid thought were the least tanky towards the middle. So I think your number will be consistent. I don't know that your side will always be consistent. You might be like, let's say you're L4 on a pull, you might be R4 on another pull because it's the same distance to the center. I don't know. It should have the same selection logic because I put in 10 players and assigned these 10. The other 10 should just have an exact like selection logic, and it should be the same every time. But I can't guarantee that because I haven't tested it and I don't know what that will look like.
Does that doesn't work in heroic at all?
No, actually, yeah, it doesn't because the debuff that you get assigned, which is flame bound or shadow bound, I believe, and that's the shield around you that's either orange or purple to let you know whether you're soaking orange or purple. Is that's a private aura, and also it's a mythic only mechanic, so it won't do any of that. We can't test it. Rip. This was we're very lucky though, because this was one of the hardest phases in the fight before they made this not a private aura, because you actually you were dependent on all 10 players that had orange to press their macro before it would assign you, and so then it might assign you late, or like the 10th person doesn't press, and then there's nobody gets an assignment until that 10th person presses. So if not everybody has like the perfect weak aura running, it just super breaks. We still need the weak aura running, but it isn't dependent on once we have everybody with the correct weak aura installed and on the right version and no duplicates and no other weak aura packs running, then it's automatic from there, so we don't have to worry about the button press. So that's good.
Yeah, that was a huge boon, for sure.
That will be very good. The only thing the macro is for shadow cages. Which war? You weren't here for the pop quiz. I'll give it to you. Which color is the macro press?
Red.
Yep, that's right. Yep, orange. Yep, red or orange or whatever.
Real quick. Orange. Okay, it's orange.
We were.
It's the fire one, and it makes perfect sense because you need to assign the people to break them out. Not who cares who's in the cages. It's who's breaking them out that's important.
Yeah, as we saw in that VOD though, people do seem to mess it up. It's okay if you get 3 and 1. If you don't go 2 and 2 and you get 3 and 1, you just need to pop a little something when you see that happen, because it will hit you really hard. The AMZ spot should be basically for this war, because you're doing the first shadow cages, should be just right between them, and should pick up both, like right on the blue point, quickly. And then this one should be on the extreme left side of the AMZ, and then this one should be on the extreme right, and then I'll do barrier on the next one, and Mazza will have MZ for that as well. That will help people with that, because that damage was not nerfed at all. It's fine. Just want there to be less frontals and the frontal damage to be nerfed, but whatever. And the Dream Rend suck to be a little less. So it's not as hard to cast.
A lot, dude.
I am asking for a lot, but they needed to give us a lot, man. They should have.
Yeah.
They should have anyway. The boss is like still way too hard even after the nerf. But whatever. We'll still beat it. It's still very doable. I'm very curious.
Needs to do their jobs.
Yeah, you got the jobs, and then we just gotta bang home, like single target on the boss, on the Burning Colossus. Then when the boss spawns, back on the boss. We gotta milk the boss damage like as much as possible, because I see us, and this is fine, right? But I see us the first time we're transitioning into P3, the boss is at like 50 some odd %, and we need to get it to like 45. So that's gonna be a big wake up call for us that, like, you know, okay, we can do the mechanics in P2, but we really need more boss damage in P2. And we're typically, as a group, we're very slow to react to like how important the single target is, and not get
hate boss damage
distracted by the shiny cleave that we're gonna have.
Oh, my DPS goes up. It actually means something. No, it doesn't. Hush.
Well, actually, the biggest thing.
It's so weird. Like, why doesn't Details have like? They should put it on themselves to show like a boss damage meter that's like above or like better. You know what I mean? Like, something that emphasizes so people can stare at it and be like, "Oh, I'm doing a good job," but like, you know.
Yeah, what actually gets the boss kill? Well, what screws everybody up, right, is they're like, well, if I look at the top 100 logs, they take the AoE talents. You know, like, and so that's as far as they go, right? It's like, dude, of course that's the case. Are you kidding me?
So they log.
Yeah, like, of course that's the case. Like, that it's always going to be the case, but it doesn't mean that for Prague, like, that's going to be a good choice. It's Buckus, dude.
What's up, guys?
Coming in at the tail end.
Yeah, I had to work late.
All good, man.
We were just talking about
Good to see you.
I'm gonna be playing some DDR, the final phase, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm gonna do pet damage.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm sad that melee are not good for this seed in the final phase.
Oh yeah, because you guys, I really thought that basically, yeah, what I thought was when we were,
Everybody had to do it almost.
yeah, well that's true as well. When there were 2 corrupted seed spawns, but when we were doing AOTC, right, and we were doing the boss, I was trying to plan for this on Mythic, and what I thought was it's just going to be one of those mechanics that you just put on your best players, right, like the players that you trust the most, which is really what I tried to do with AOTC, which worked just fine for that. But yeah, the being ranged and being like very mobile and having like some really
Like
tanky options is like, it's so good for the role that, yeah.
I got the solution. I'll play survival. You'll play Ellie.
I
Roles reversed. Let's go.
don't see any problems here. Yeah.
Hey man, I
Sounds
made
like
sure to
me,
spell
man. Oh, hey, I'm
it
gonna
out.
learn a new class and spec while we're doing a hard boss. Is that okay?
You need to learn a range spec. That's even harder. Like these melee to melee is like we figure it out.
Kinda,
It's
yeah.
not that bad, dude. You'd be fine, I think.
I think Ellie, yeah,
I think
it's
Ellie range
fine.
would be fine. I think Ellie Mythic Plus is like real wonky.
Yeah, it's not bad on this fight. There are Ellies that have gotten the kill
You could
on
just
this
play
fight.
the fire build where they're just like sitting there and fucking. You just start throwing fucking meatballs.
I don't know.
pretty much
Last
the
time I
whole
saw it
time.
was like a weird lightning rod thing with Storm Elemental, but I think it's probably changed since I last looked at it.
Focus, I'll give you a quick rundown of some of the things that I'm thinking in terms of changes. So we're gonna have an aerial defense unit assigned basically in these positions around the boss, and so it'll be these positions, these assignments. And so as we move, they'll be responsible for that side of the boss really throughout the whole phase. And
For
so
the frontal things?
yeah, for the frontal baits. And then obviously they group up when we do the thing, but then when we move and we do the blazes, then they, Thea and Mal will need to push through to get onto this side and bait the ones that spawn up and over here. And then Ziddy and Imper and Caligon can kind of keep an eye on behind the top side of the boss. And I think Melee can really, if there's anything that spawns under here, like under us, Melee can really watch that and be just fine.
I noticed a bunch of them spawn like right where my name is. Down.
Oh.
Like we get a cluster that spawn there.
Yeah, it would look more like this, but yeah, it would be down here. Somewhere around here.
Because let's see, Blaze. Because yeah, so those are the ones that hit when we're running. These are some of the ones that like OK was saying they get yeeted across the squad because we have the blazes going and people are running.
Yeah, and we're all spread out.
So a lot of the ones that spawn like center room are getting yeeted across the boss because people are still running, and it's like swapping over.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, in that case, if there's one that spawns, like back here or whatever, that, like, Ziddy and Imper would be assigned to be aware of that and at least try and, like, turn it a little bit, right? Move back.
I don't think those are the scary ones. I think the ones that are, like, down more the middle of the screen when we cut across are the ones that I'm noticing going through the group.
Over here?
Yeah, like right there. Because I run, like, really mid whenever we fight that. Like, I run that way because I don't run along the wall. I
remember you called that, yeah. Yeah, you do it, like, down here.
And then, like, because I'm just curious if they spawn far back with the balls. I think that's just, like, a very scary bait. Like, that one in particular is a very scary one where everyone's just pay attention.
Yep.
Because it's going to be real hard. The guys in the back are going to have a hard time. Like, we don't want them to die to balls trying to bait,
For
and
sure.
we're getting a lot of balls that shoot across.
For sure. Yeah, we
rogue ball.
like this will be pretty scary. The orbs will probably spawn like sort of past here, the last set, so it'll be like very close by.
I like to go further than that, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah, it depends on the pull. The other thing that I wanted to change, and I don't know if you saw this in next boss discussion today.
The tank pulling it there, like the consistency with the move.
Yeah, rather than two distinct like move, and then big move, I think we just start moving and we just stay with the boss a little bit, and then we do a big sprint like at the end. Still, so it's just like a gradient instead of a two movements we need to really sync up. We just stay with the boss and go.
Yeah, that's what it ends up being for a lot of people on the inside. It kind of looks that way anyway.
Yep.
Because we're like trying to play catch up, like we don't have time to pause.
Yeah, the way that I'm calling it is 4 distinct moves though, so I can see how we'd get a little confused and also like not stay together. So
the only thing that I ask is don't put a mark on a player to follow. I saw that as a suggestion. I do not think that would work.
yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that'd be very awkward. Just because people have different run speeds and it get like real like chasey.
Or you're gonna see people stop or watch them get the first blaze, but then they're trying to lead everybody, and now it's just a giant shit show.
Yep. Yeah, that's not the way to go. I think just staying with the boss and staying on the boss as it moves is really going to be just fine, as long as like my countdown and Mazza's move are like, yeah, like his focus is actually going to be keep the boss out of the orbs, not keep himself out of the orbs, right? Because he can actually keep himself out and just blaze the crap out of us. So he'll want to kind of try to keep it so that the boss doesn't get hit by orbs as slowly as possible. That's a shout out to you, Mazza, on this recording.
Grab another water.
Was there?
In there for a little Mozzino.
And other than that, we went over how that like mini game is actually pretty good to teach the intermission. We're going to be basically screwed if there's even one of us that doesn't understand how it works when we get there. So that'll be fun, but we'll deal with that when we get there, because I'm super confident in about 10 or 12 of us knowing exactly how it works, but there's about 6 of us that I have no idea whether they know.
Whenever we got there, I guess there is that many orbs. Whenever we pushed like the couple of times that we did, some people's macro spin out like right side 9. Does it not take into account dead people? Or do dead people get assigned a color? Because with like 5 of us living, it was assigning like red, or not right side, but like red 9.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was going like full spectrum.
That's weird. Yeah, it should take into account a dead person, but it's probably thrown way off when most of the raid is dead.
With the red side, yeah, it just like fucked it up entirely.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Because I'm wondering if you're dead, if you still get a color. Because sometimes that happens. Like, you still get debuffs even if you don't exist for
if you are there.
Oh yeah, we should have checked that. We could have seen probably like the bodies actually probably got.
Check now, because now that it's on a private aura.
Oh yeah, you could see. It should be called Flamebound.
I thought Flamebound was what you get whenever.
That's the buff that tells you which color.
Debuff. Oh, here's Shadowbound. Oh, nope, only 4 people got it. So it didn't apply to dead people.
Yeah, so it was missing input.
Yeah. They might have just freaked out.
And then other than that, because of our P1 less plan, I have to plan to play the 4th roar, which means that we needed to change up everything in terms of like the drops and who's carrying, so I changed that up.
Yeah, that seems like pretty chill.
It's reflected here.
That doesn't seem too crazy.
It's not crazy, but yeah, the phase is not chill. The phase is exciting.
Yeah, the phase is intense, but it's like it's nothing too wild. Like, it doesn't ramp up in craziness except for tornadoes, really,
Yeah, it's really not that complex. The only thing that adding the 4th roar really changes for us is that
move the boss.
Ziddy picking up the first corrupted seed, he can't hold it the entire time, so he needs to pass to Caligon at some point. and drop his stacks, and then the very last corrupted seed city will actually pick back up because the stacks will drop.
How long are the stacks?
That's a good question. I don't actually know, but I know that it does reset over the course of a full roar section, so that's got to be what, 45 seconds or so. I think it's like 46, 48 seconds between roars, something like that. So it's probably like a 30 to 40 second debuff or something, if I had to guess. And I kind of do have to guess. Usually the places that I go for tooltips for stuff like this doesn't have anything up for Mythic Fyrakk, so if it's like a Mythic specific mechanic, I don't have any tooltips for it.
You probably look on somebody's log.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You just find whoever was carrying the corrupted seed and then look at their debuffs and then check it, mouse over. For sure.
Well, cool.
Yep. So that's really all that we're changing. Or we're just really hoping to get into the intermission tomorrow night.
Yeah, so you never know.
We get through P2 tomorrow and we'll be set. We just have to learn P3.
P2 is there's so much to P2 to learn that I don't think that's reasonable. I like your optimism.
Well, I mean,
but
nerf, shadow cages, and all that stuff, you know, we're good to go.
One, don't blaze ads, which means people really need to be super aware of where ads are and where their blazes are. That's
We're
like
fucking blazing so many ads.
Dude, I
that's
feel like people are really bad with their lines in general, so it's gonna be like
and then also who
call.
cares? Tell me who of the DPS actually cares like where the healer ads spawn. Like I don't. Some of them might not even know that there are healer ads in the fight, right? So we're
For sure.
we're
What? There's healer ads in this spot?
so we're
You're being disingenuous.
there's a you're right. I'm being over exaggerated, but there's still, as far as like how they spawn, like the waves, like what to like. There's a lot to learn there, but basically, don't blaze ads to target burning Colossus. We definitely need to make that damage check. 3, what would I say? Shadow cages.
Dude, CC on the ads and then knock rounds.
Cages plus macros. I'm just doing it in the order that we'll see it appear in the fight. Then 4 is add CC, which once we get to that point, we'll practice in heroic. I've got the heroic lockout. And then that's it. It's really it. There's 4 things, but those are pretty big. The shadow cages plus macros usually takes kills a long time to learn. And then the blazing the ads, they do that like all the time. And I don't know about the damage check on the burning, how much of a problem that is.
It's not that bad anymore that you burn one and you don't cleave them down.
Yeah, but you still need to. You only have about 30 seconds before it casts another round of shadow cages and eruptions, and you really don't want those to go off because that's during the ads and like while you're cleaving and stuff, so it messes everything up. So there still is a bit of a check, but yeah, you're right. It's not. Now you know that you can single target it down, and that's the prio ad, and they did the 10% nerf since that. It's not too bad, but it still is a bit of a check. And then we'd want to get our balance right because boss damage in this phase is still really important. So sending too many cooldowns on the burning and then not having any cooldowns for the boss. So like we've got a lot of negotiation to do with our DPS and coordinating, making sure that we actually are maximizing boss damage all the time, especially post P1. Although looking at our P1,
that's all I can do.
That's it. I was looking at it for you. The lust on the pull actually kind of screws your timing up, I think. Well, the boss lands at 247, so your cooldowns aren't back up.
Yeah, I guess.
You only get 20 seconds, basically, right? At 320, the golem ad spawns, boss flies away, so about 23 seconds if you pop right on pull. So it throws you off a little bit there, but
yeah, but the benefit is that I'm actually getting luff with gargoyle and everything, and like most guilds don't last at like 3 minutes either, right? So
Right.
Yeah, you
usually
wanna get it either
Unholy
way.
is just like kind of relegated to doing whatever they can.
Right. True. So yeah, you actually get better off.
It's,
The
yeah, it's a
But you
benefit.
do get some on the boss here, and then it's still rolling, and you can then funnel
the
some
outs.
damage, into the burning. So that'll help out on the
Yeah.
first set at least. On the next set, you won't have anything up 440, but whatever. If people held and they pop here at, where should they pop? They should pop at 247 when the boss lands, which means 440. It's about 2 minutes after, so we actually have 2 minutes back up for the second set of golem meds. So it's like 2 minute classes would carry this set of golems if we need cooldowns for it. Don't know for sure. And then any odd like 1 minuters, possibly 1.5ers and 3 minuters would carry this set of golem meds.
Copy.
That's the way it looks to me.
We will see.
Yeah. Okay. I think
I'm gonna tell you something funny before you leave.
that's everything we're going to cover, so I'm going to stop the recording.